Good morning, guys. Unfrequented world. This morning we're going to go on a little bit of a nature hike. It's kind of a gray fall day, and a lot of the leaves have come down, but there are still patches of color, which, with a good telephoto lens, we should be able to hunt out and really bring out the last of fall here. I want to show you guys we're using the Tamron 300 2.8 lens, one of my favorites. This is a pro level old lens, probably 25-year-old lens. And we're going to use something even more specialized today. We're going to use the Kenko Pro 300 3x converter with it, which means mostly manual focus. We're supposed to be able to autofocus with that lens, but that's not going to happen. So it's going to be mostly manual focus. I was just setting up the camera with micro focus adjust for this lens. I haven't used my A7R3 with this lens a lot. So I was doing that and I found the first image of the day, and I'll show you guys what we're going to be looking for on our hike today. And so while setting up the camera doing a micro focus adjustment today, I found the first image to show you guys. This lens has beautiful bokeh on it, and you can see foreground and background bokeh here, and that's the beauty of the 2.8 lens. So today on our trip we're going to try to utilize scenes and images with foreground and background, a combination there of bokeh to separate our subject. And I'm going to show you guys these right in the timeline, whatever we find today. Let's get out there and go for a hike. Alrighty, I was just going to tell you guys that there's the first image that we captured. Some little poplar leaves, probably 10 or 12 feet away from them, about an inch, inch and a half long, those leaves there. And you can see them out in front of the camera. And then it started to hail. So it is fall and it is cold. We're going to stay out here as long as we can and try to find some color though. The bush here is also full of deer. The pileated woodpecker just flew by when I was working here. So if we can capture him or any other wildlife, we're going to try to track them down today as well too. And the hail has turned to rain, so I'm kind of hiding here at the house, still waiting. You can see the raindrops on the gear there. I don't know. Maybe this just isn't going to be my day. So while it's raining, I'll just take a minute to go over and remind you guys, when using a setup like this, it's very easy to mess up shots or not get good shots. You've got to use a tripod. You've got to use a 10-second timer. And we've got to use all the tools that come on the new cameras, such as focus peaking and magnified focus assist. So if we use all of those things, we can zoom in and make sure that our focus is bang on. We can use a focus assist to help with that. And then we use the timer, press the shutter. There's going to be a lot of shake in this big system right here with, you've got 28 inches of lens and camera and everything on a gimbal. So there's going to be a lot of shake. So a 10-second timer, 2-second probably isn't going to do it. And we still have to be gentle when we press the shutter, because I've had images that still don't turn out even with a 10-second timer. So you got to be very careful how we do this and use best practices for a big honking lens like that. So I just wanted to show you guys a tip here on this setup. So I found my leaves out here, and the ground obviously is not flat, so you're going to have a real hard time, especially with a gimbal. There's no adjustment for horizontal balance, right? So the easiest thing I found over the years to do to adjust to keep this plane here level is to simply lower or raise one of your tripod legs. So you set up your tripod, you get two of them flat as can be, and then the third one you just pull the lever and let it slide up or down until this becomes level. So your image is as level as you want it. So right now I've got these two legs over here are fully extended, and this one is short by about 1.5 inches. And that's because there's, there's a mound right here on the ground. You probably can't see that on the camera, and that's the way it is in nature. Nothing's ever flat. So the easiest way to level that is just to shorten one of the tripod legs as you're going on the fly. A couple of quick tips, guys. From 20 years of shooting in the bush, I've learned a few things, and one of them, the first rule that you can't break, is don't delete photos in the bush. You might say, oh, I've taken one over here from this angle. It's a little better than the first one. You delete the first one. What happens when you get home? You find out, the second one is just slightly out of focus. So never delete anything that you can only preview on a 2-inch camera screen. Keep everything. Doesn't hurt. You've probably got a 64 gigabyte memory card in there. Keep everything. The second tip is take lots of shots, guys. Take multiple shots. Change your distance. Change your angle. Just change the lighting. Do whatever you can in the field to give yourself multiple options, because when you get home, quite often you'll say what you think you wanted was not what you wanted. You'll find out, I prefer the one with more space, or I prefer the one that was closer, or this angle, or whatever the case may be. But if you don't take those shots when you're in the field, then you've got no options when you get home. There's a flicker of sunlight there. Whew. My hands are chilled. What I wanted to show you guys, one more tip. I'm just shooting down here on this log, probably 9-10 feet away. And we've got some nice mushrooms and leaves. That's the setup right there. I just wanted to remind you guys, make sure you always take a landscape, which is a horizontal image, and a portrait image, which is a vertical image of every scene. I can't tell you guys how many times I've gotten home and said, wow, geez, that's a beautiful shot. I wish I had the other orientation to go with it. I can't believe there's actually a brown-eyed Susan left to shoot, but there is. So, make sure we get a shot or two of it. Last survivor. Even I can make mistakes, guys, and today I've made a mistake. I didn't bring gloves, and the metal tripod is just freezing on the hands. So make sure, you're prepared. And today I'm just not prepared. So I'm going to have to suffer a little bit. I made a video a couple years ago to show you guys when I purchased this old Tamron 300 2.8. It didn't come with a lens hood. The original lens hood that came with this lens was metal, very heavy, and it had was not this screw-on front type. It was the lock-on. You had to screw on physical, screws to hold it on. I made this lens hood myself for like $2, guys, and it's totally removable. It's just a CD case. It's plastic. It's light. I scuffed it up, I painted it. On the inside mount here, guys, I put a gaffer tape, and this bottom of the CD case is held on with a piece of wire that goes around, and you just, I gave it a couple twists here to tighten it up. The gaffer tape stops the CD mount from rubbing on the lens hood, and there you go, $3 fix. They were asking $150 plus shipping for the lens hood, and I said no way. It's it's heavy, and I don't want to carry that old metal lens hood on there. And B, I don't want to pay $150 for something I can make myself for $3. And I've been using this for a couple of years now. It works fantastic. Well, the wind has picked up substantially, guys, and I really just wanted to say thanks for joining me today. I enjoyed your company on this hike. Unfortunately, didn't see any deer, but we did get some great shots of color and leaves and mushrooms and small fall things that we can isolate with the 3x adapter on the 300 f2.8 lens. So, I think we did all right. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to talking to you guys soon in the forums, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, hey, there you are. One last tip for the diehards, guys. When you bring your stuff in from the cold like that, it is going to condense. A big lens like this is going to have moisture all over the front of it. I bring mine in 2 stages. I bring it into the garage, which is not heated. I'll leave it here for half an hour, and then I'll bring it into the warm house, and I won't wipe it down until it's sat for another half an hour and it's dry. Then I'll take the blower and a nice cloth and wipe everything down then. I don't do it when it's wet because you will smear marks all over your lens. So that's my last tip for cold adventuring. Thanks for watching, guys.